Hi, my name is Justin Miller, and for the last month, I've been mining cryptocurrency using Helium Hotspots. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Helium, Helium is a company that is interested in creating a mesh network all throughout the world in order to give data access to devices that are part of the Internet of Things, as it were. Now, in order to create this mesh network, they want you to place their hotspots, which I'm referring to as helium hotspots, in your house. Connect it to your power and your internet, and by doing so, they give you the opportunity of earning their cryptocurrency known as HNT. So if you're interested in doing this, a great way to begin is first finding out how much you can make. And I mean, that's how I started too. I came here to their website at helium.com. I clicked on mine there at the top or over here on the corner. And then from there, I scrolled down to view network map. And it's from here that I started looking at where I was located and what the helium hotspot miners around me were already making. So I'm located here in Colorado in the Denver area, and I found myself up here in this corner. Now I'll just show you some of the other hotspots around me. This one is right up the street from me. I can see his antenna. I knew he was using an 8 dBi antenna, and he's currently making, as you can see, 21.1 HNT a month, or around 603. And that's also considering the fact that he was down for a couple days here where he shut off his network. Now, unfortunately, this didn't give me a lot of information because he didn't show total witnesses, because quite frankly, he can't get any witnesses. It's because his hotspot's relayed, and that's one thing I learned: don't leave your hotspot relayed. So I had to look at another hex containing a helium hotspot in the area, which was this one over here, Mammoth Rusty Badger. Now he is making, as you can see, 29.361 or 840 a month, and he's getting 149 witnesses, average beacons being 314. He also is using an 8 dBi antenna, and you can see he's hitting everywhere. He's hitting downtown Denver, he's hitting up here in Broomfield, he's hitting all the way up in Fort Collins. And so that was giving me an idea now of how much I could make a month. I said, okay, this guy's making 603, this guy's making 840, let's find someone else around me. And this guy was a little farther away, but as you can see, also a lot of witnesses, a lot of beacons, and considering this person was also down for that same couple days, hey, that's interesting. I'm kind of wondering what happened during that time. Two people in my area, but anyway, I also, using this same map here in the bottom right hand corner, looked at transmit scales. Transmit scales tell you what earning you're gonna get from seeing these hotspots. So just so I'm clear, people make money by either witnessing someone else's beacons or having your beacon be witnessed. It's a proof of coverage situation where by witnessing each other, Helium is able to determine what coverage your hotspot is able to cover, as it were, in the area. So unfortunately, because there are so many of these hotspots downtown, I mean, you can see there's 10 of them just in this hex right here. That's a problem, because anything that is a transmit scale close to 0 is not going to give you nearly as much money as something up here where the transmit scale is closer to 1. So when I looked at, for example, hotspot here, Mammoth Rusty Badger, you can see that although he gets quite a number down here, he also gets quite a number of more green hotspots, so he's making more money from there. And quite frankly, looking at some other websites, I knew I wasn't gonna make that kind of money, or at least I wasn't sure if I was. I knew at least I needed a 8 dBi antenna, and I thought to myself, okay, I went to hotspotty.net, and if definitely check out Hotspotty. One thing you can do in this process is I go under appearance settings and I make sure elevation contours are turned on. And with elevation contours turned on, I could see the elevation. We're higher up here. Well, we can't see anything over here because it's mountains, but I am higher up on a hill, and so I have more view down the hill than anybody else, which gives me a lot more opportunity. Unfortunately for me, compared to some of these other hotspots, I'm in this kind of ravine here, so I can't really see over this way that well, but everything is pointed down towards the city. That being said, I figured, well, Low Cream Cat, he's making 21 HNT. Mammoth Rusty Badger, 29 HNT. I gotta be close to something like that. And so I spent the money. I actually spent way too much money. I had to buy this off scalpers on eBay or on Craigslist and other places. I bought 4 total, so they're different locations. But point being is, let's start with the one at my house. So it's been up a month, and so far it's doing pretty good. That's right. My earnings are 32.526 HNT, and if I bump this back over here, this includes some bad times. You can actually, another nice thing about using hotspotty.net is I can look at rewards here. And as you can see, there was a drop right here where I first started out on in October, at the beginning of October, making about 1 HNT, but then I dropped here 2.06 because my wife unplugged the hotspot, and then once I realized that after about 12 hours, it then took it another 8 hours to sync back up to the network. I did not know that there was a fast sync functionality at that time. But since then, as you can see, rewards have jumped up and then down in some cases, and then kind of got better over here. But as you can see, on average, I am making around, and it actually shows here, but around 1.18 on average a week, or sorry, a day on an average of a week. The last 24 hours I've made 1.16, so I'm averaging regularly that my Helium Hotspot makes about 1 HNT a day. Now, after I realized this, like I said, I bought more. I knew that the other hotspots were not going to do as well, but using my same strategy of going in through helium.com, explorer.helium.com, and looking at different Helium hotspots here and seeing how much people were making when they were actually maximizing their profitability by configuring their placement of their hotspot, what kind of antenna they were going to be using, all those things, what I could make. And I determined that as long as I was pretty much up here in a green area, sorry, I should say, rather, when you look at the transmit scales, I was up here in a green area, I could maybe make 0.5 HNT a day. So, yeah, so I put up a couple more hotspots. And like I said, this is mine right here, Long Marmalade Shrimp. This is my house. As you can see, doesn't hit up here that well, so I don't actually get much in terms of the green areas. I get mostly a lower reward scale, but I hit so many. Look here, 557 average beacons in 7 days, 190 total witnesses in 5 days. That I do pretty well. I make over 1 HNT a day. Now, that being said, I've added more hotspots to the mix. So first of all, I have many hotspots coming in, but this is one of my family members' hotspots. Now, she is up, as you can see, in the green area. She can't hit here to the west due to, again, those contours I've shown you, which show that it's too much of a hill. The signal can't go that way. But she's hitting so many greens here, she usually gets close to 1 HNT a day. Which, well, alright, maybe a little less at this point. There was a bad day right here. But on average, I would say she's getting 0.91, somewhere in there. The others that I have don't do so well. I'm just going to jump over. I have to go over here to get to the hotspot and see it. But the others are beautiful quartz nightingale. As you can see, beautiful quartz nightingale can't even hit north or east or west that well. It is mainly south. So on average, I would say more of a 0.5. Unfortunately, this hotspot went offline a couple days ago, got unplugged, and that's one of the, well, just like I said before, my wife had unplugged it. That's one of the things you got to worry about. Things get unplugged depending on where you leave them in the house. So in this case, these are plugged into backyards. So, when people are partying in the backyard, as which may happen to a rental house like this, yeah, it's going to get unplugged. The other hotspot I have is Clever Blonde Tadpole. Clever Blonde Tadpole is actually just a little bit a ways. This is where my, right up here, sorry. This is where the Quartz Nightingale, beautiful Quartz Nightingale is. This is where Clever Blonde Tadpole is. Clever Blonde Tadpole, unfortunately, is right next to another hotspot, which is 2 houses down, but I decided it's the only house I had available that I could just put it in, so I might as well try. On average, Clever Blonde Tadpole gets maybe a little under 0.5 HNT, so it's not been great. But if you think about it, depending on what HNT is worth, it's pretty good. It's only been on for a couple weeks now, so I don't have a clear example to give you like I do with the one at my own house, but I just wanted you to see what it looked like here. Now, even though its transmit scale, as it states, is 0.49, doesn't make a difference for what a helium hotspot can make. Helium hotspot makes money, again, based on other hotspots that witness its beacons and you witnessing other hotspots' beacons. So what people can get from witnessing you doesn't mean that's what you're going to get from them witnessing you or you witnessing them. So again, don't worry about what your transmit scale is. Worry about where you're going to hit. In other words, what other hotspots you're going to be able to see or witness, rather, what the hotspots are around you are. So at least for this one, as you can see, I'm getting a couple places near to my hotspot, and I'd love if some of these empty spaces were filled up. Quite honestly, the more empty spaces that get filled up full of more green hotspots to hit, the happier I am. So that's how things have been going. And if I go back to Hotspotty, again, the nice thing about this, if I go to the workspace, I can see how things are now. So I have, in the past 24 hours, I made about 3.11 HNT. Over the course of this last month, I have made, over here, October, 58.37 HNT. This was the mistake when my wife unplugged me, and this was the mistake when the neighbors, my people who live in that house disconnected the hotspot once again. And this kind of level right here, this slow rise in HNT, was me slowly adding hotspots over the course of 4 weeks. So I think the last hotspot was added on the Saturday the 23rd, or it could have been Sunday the 24th, that weekend right there, and that's when I got all my hotspots online. So it's from that point that I look at these numbers, which are averaging, I'm going to say around 3 HNT a day. And honestly, I'm very happy with that. If we go up here back to appearance and settings, I don't have to look at this in terms of HNT. I can look at it in terms of US dollars. But please consider the value of HNT changes on a regular basis. I'm currently using crypto.com in order to transfer this to actual US dollars because their numbers are a little higher. But I also use Binance, and I started out in Binance first, so I just want to show you here because they do have a web interface. when I started way back in the beginning of October, HNT was worth $18.85. So my numbers in determining whether I was going to jump into this as a venture were a little lower. However, since then, now today, we're looking at something more like 28, 29 per HNT. So, HNT fluctuates, like I told you. It's definitely moving on up here. Maybe even worth you just investing actual US dollars into. But point being is, when a shift happens like this, the value goes up. You start looking at how much value you're getting in trying to mine cryptocurrency. So that being said, based on its current value, it's estimating it, at least Hotspotty is, 28.6 HNT. So we can change that to US dollars and look at this. And if I look at it this way, it looks like in October I made $1,669.42. Of course, that is only true if I cash out at this price. And on average, it says I'm making about 90 bucks a day. Actually, no, that's just for the past 24 hours. Here's more like 85 bucks a day. I actually just bring that down and say on average, I assume I'm going to be making 80 bucks a day. And I feel like that's a safer bet. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you here. For those of you who are interested and want to join, one thing I can tell you is this. When I got started, it was hard to get a miner. And it still is, but not as hard. I had to go to scalpers. I had to pay double, triple, 4 times the value of a miner. But I did it because I thought that there would be value. And looking at some 1,600 a month, if I can make that for the next 2 months, I will have paid everything off and be very happy, starting to basically start at zero in January, saying I've paid all my equipment off, and I can look forward now to just making money from HNT. Now, for you, if you're interested, go check out Minted, getmntd.com. That's where I got these suckers right over here. They seem to have more gold than black. The black is like $3.99 and the gold is like $4.79. But honestly, at those prices, I would rather just get the gold, especially because the gold comes with extra tech support and you may need it. You may need it. You don't know, in case there's a problem with your hotspot. You want to be able to return it and get it fixed quickly. And better tech support means better help in those kind of things. Now, that being said, even though, as it says, these are out of stock, they have just tweeted that they are going to be dropping more stock Tuesday, November. Oops. Yeah, I should just go to here. They should be dropping their stock on Tuesday, November 16th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So if you can be there Tuesday, November 16th, 8 a.m. Pacific time, go through their process, get a Helium miner, but check in advance to see, can you at least make 0.5 HNT? And that being said, I'll be honest, with their little tiny antennas, it may not happen. You're going to want a bigger antenna. I recommend just going straight to Rack Wireless and buying their 8 dBi antenna. That RP means Raspberry Pi. That's the connection you're going to want. You may also want to put a mounting kit on it, just to have a stand for it if it's going to be indoors. I keep mine indoors. I can talk about that, or you can check it out in another video that I have. But I find having the plugs not in a place somebody can unplug yourself, and the antenna not in a place somebody can trip over it or have something happen to it is a better situation. I put my antennas, and the plan is I'm going to put my antennas all in attics. That's right. I'm getting more hotspots, as you can see. I'm getting more antennas. I'm designing mounts to be able to take these antennas and put them in attics very easily. If you're interested in knowing more about that, I will be making a video about it soon, I promise. But guys, my point here is this is a good investment. but you need to research your investment. And going on Facebook and asking a couple questions to people isn't really doing research. You need to go in and look at your area, figure out your topography, figure out where you can place things in your house or how tall they can be. You need to figure out where exactly other people are hitting other hotspots, witnessing, beaconing in your area, so you have an idea of what is possible for you. Just something to think about. I hope this was useful. 30 days and making $1,600 is a great start, but that was the beginning. Now I'm dealing with hotspots that are running on a regular basis. So instead of looking at those numbers, I'm looking at 3 HNT a day times 30 days to make it a month. And then multiply that by $28. And, well, I'm going to be making a good amount of money next month. At least I'm hopeful, right? Hopeful that things don't change. And things can change. Things are always in flux. So we'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. If you like this information, please like and subscribe. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. And you guys have a great day.